You were taught the wrong rules. From the very beginning, they told you that respect comes from kindness. That openness builds trust. That if you just explain yourself clearly, people will understand you and treat you fairly. And for years, you believed it. You spoke honestly. You showed emotion. You tried to be reasonable. And what did you get in return? Ignored. Overlooked. Taken for granted. Disrespected by people you never disrespected first. And the worst part is this, you probably blamed yourself. You thought maybe you weren't clear enough. Maybe you weren't patient enough. Maybe you weren't good enough. But that was never the problem. The problem is that you were trained to be visible in a world that punishes visibility. You were taught rules that benefit manipulators, not leaders. Rules that make you easy to read, easy to predict, and easy to control. And today, those rules end. Because there is another way to move through this world. A way few people understand. A way Machiavelli understood centuries ago. There are people who barely speak, yet rooms adjust when they enter. They don't explain themselves. They don't justify their choices. They don't ask for understanding or approval. Most of the time, they say nothing at all. And yet, people watch them carefully. People choose their words around them. People hesitate before crossing them. Why? Because power does not come from being good. It comes from being unreadable. The world does not bow to honesty. It bows to control. It does not respect transparency. It respects mystery. You've seen it yourself. The loud are ignored. The emotional are dismissed. But the quiet ones? The calm ones? The ones who never reveal what they're thinking? They are feared. And fear, controlled fear, is respect. This is not about cruelty. This is not about being cold or heartless. This is about understanding the dark psychology behind authority. This is about learning how silence becomes a weapon. How mystery becomes armor. How restraint becomes dominance. By the end of this video, you'll understand why saying less gives you more power. Why revealing nothing makes people cautious. And why the moment you stop explaining yourself, people start respecting you. There is no going back after this. Because once you understand how silence controls the room, you will never waste words again. Number 1, why people underestimate and disrespect you. Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. When someone crosses a line with you, what do? You explain. You clarify. You tell them how you feel. You walk them through your intention, your logic, your emotions, hoping that once they understand, they'll change. And maybe they apologize. Maybe they nod. Maybe they even sound sincere. Then they do it again. Same behavior. Same disrespect. Same pattern. And you're left wondering why nothing ever changes. Here's the truth most people never hear. Every time you explain yourself emotionally, you hand the other person leverage. You reveal exactly where you can be pressured. You expose the places where words can hurt you, influence you, or control you. You think you're being mature. You think you're being authentic. You think you're doing the right thing. But emotionally, you're making yourself predictable. And predictable people are easy to dominate. Human beings are not noble creatures. We are strategic. We instinctively test boundaries. When we see weakness, we don't respect it, we exploit it. Not always consciously. Not always maliciously. But always instinctively. Every explanation you give teaches people something about you. When you defend yourself, you show insecurity. When you over-explain, you show doubt. When you justify your decisions, you show you're seeking approval. And people who seek approval are silently ranked below those who don't. Look around you. Who gets real respect? Is it the person who is always available, always accommodating, always explaining themselves so everyone feels comfortable? No. That person gets used. That person becomes optional. That person becomes convenient. Respect flows toward distance, toward restraint, toward people who don't rush to explain where they stand or how they feel. Why? Because predictability destroys authority. When people know exactly how you'll react, they stop taking you seriously. You become a solved equation. Manageable. Safe to disrespect. But when your reactions are controlled, when your emotions stay hidden, when people don't know where they're crossing, you will be forgiven or permanently remembered. They slow down. They choose their words carefully. They hesitate. Not because they like you, but because they don't understand you. And confusion creates caution. You were taught that being liked and being respected are the same thing. They are not. Being liked makes you comfortable. Being respected makes you powerful. People may enjoy your presence, but if there are no consequences for disrespect, they will take liberties. They will cancel on you. Lie to you. Use you when it suits them. Not because they're evil, but because you taught them it was safe to do so. Machiavelli understood this clearly. People are not judged by your intentions, but by how you appear to them. And right now, you appear readable, accessible, emotionally open, which translates to controllable. The moment people realize they can provoke you into explaining yourself, they categorize you. They place you in a mental box labeled manageable. That box is where power goes to die. The only way out is this: you must become unreadable. Stop revealing your internal world. Stop defending your choices. Stop reacting emotionally when tested. Begin operating as a closed system. Let people wonder what you're thinking. Let them guess why you made that decision. Let them fear they crossed a line they didn't know existed. That uncertainty is not cruelty. It is authority. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming controlled. You are not becoming distant. You are becoming selective. And once you stop needing to be understood, something shifts. You no longer explain yourself into weakness. You no longer give people emotional access they haven't earned. You become someone whose silence carries weight. And people respect weight. Not because you demand it, but because they feel it. Number 2, the power of silence and unreadability. Silence is not weakness. That's the first lie you need to erase. Silence is not submission. Silence is not avoidance. Silence is not you losing means. Silence is pressure. When someone provokes you and you respond emotionally, they feel in control. They expected your words. They prepared for your defense. They were ready to argue, twist, dismiss, or minimize whatever you said. But when you say nothing, their entire strategy collapses. When someone tries to push your buttons and you remain still, calm eyes, steady posture, no reaction, you don't just confuse them. You destabilize them. Because now they don't know what you're thinking. And the human mind cannot tolerate uncertainty. Silence creates a vacuum. And people will desperately fill that vacuum with their own fears, doubts, and assumptions. They begin asking themselves questions you never asked out loud. Why aren't they reacting? Did I go too far? Are they angry or done? Did I just make a mistake I can't undo? The longer you stay silent, the louder their thoughts become. And here's the key: you didn't threaten them. You didn't attack them. You didn't say a single word. Their own imagination did the damage. Think about how often you've tried to explain yourself just to relieve tension. You filled the silence with justifications, emotions, logic, hoping to calm the situation. But all that did was expose you. People learned how to push you. They learned how to rattle you. They learned exactly how much pressure it takes for you to crack. Now imagine the opposite. Someone disrespects you. You look at them. Calm. Still. Silent. 5 seconds pass. 10 seconds. They start shifting. Talking. Over-explaining. Backtracking. They are working. You are not. Who has the power in that moment? Not the person speaking. Power belongs to the one who can sit in silence without needing to explain themselves. That is dominance. Machiavelli understood this deeply. Most people are judged by what they show, not by what they are. When you show calm and reveal nothing beneath it, people assume depth, danger, calculation. And they treat you accordingly. Unreadable people are projected onto. Others assume they are more intelligent, more ruthless, more capable than they may actually be. Not because it's true, but because the unknown is always feared. But understand this clearly: there are two kinds of silence. One comes from fear. The other comes from control. Fearful silence shrinks. Avoids eye contact. Feels tense. Controlled silence is grounded. Still. Comfortable. Present. Your body reveals which one you're using. When silence is chosen, not forced, it radiates confidence. It tells people you are not rushed, not threatened, not reactive. You are observing. And observation gathers information. Every word someone speaks while you remain silent gives you insight into their insecurities, motives, and pressure points. They reveal themselves while you stay concealed. That asymmetry is power. You stop being the one exposed. You become the one watching. And over time, something shifts. People become cautious around you. They measure their words. They sense weight in your presence. Not because you demanded respect, but because silence commanded it. Number 3, the hidden danger of over-explaining. The fastest way to lose authority is to defend yourself to someone who doesn't respect you. Most people never realize this. Someone questions your decision, doubts your judgment, challenges your choice. And instantly, something triggers inside you, the urge to justify, to clarify, to prove you had a good reason. You tell yourself you're being logical, mature, communicative. But psychologically, you're doing something else entirely. You're asking for permission. The moment you over-explain, you signal uncertainty. You show that your decision needs approval to stand. And once someone senses that, they push harder. Why? Because explanations create openings. Every reason you give becomes something they can attack. Every justification becomes a weakness they can pry apart. And the more you speak, the more power leaks out of your position. Strong people don't argue their decisions into existence. They decide. And they let the decision stand without negotiation. Think about the last time someone questioned you. You probably laid out your reasoning carefully, hoping they'd understand. Maybe you even apologized for choosing what you chose. And what happened? They didn't respect you more. They questioned you more. They pushed further. Because the more you explained, the weaker your stance felt. Now imagine the same moment handled differently. They question you. You respond once. Calmly. Briefly. Then you stop. No defense. No emotional energy. No additional detail. What can they do with that? Nothing. There's no argument to continue. No insecurity to exploit. No opening to manipulate. That silence forces acceptance. Machiavelli warned against this trap. There are people who use questions as nets. They don't want answers, they want leverage. And the moment you step into their net by explaining yourself, you've already lost ground. Over-explaining is not clarity. It is self-doubt made audible. And people instinctively rank those who doubt themselves below those who don't. Here's the paradox: the more you seek understanding, the less you receive respect. But the moment you stop needing to be understood, people start adjusting to you. Because certainty is intimidating. When you stop explaining yourself, people assume you know something they don't. They sense finality. They feel that pushing further might have consequences. And that feeling creates restraint. From now on, when someone challenges you, resist the impulse to defend. State your position once. Without emotion. Without detail. Then let the silence do the work. If they push again, repeat yourself exactly the same way, or say nothing at all. Do not negotiate your boundaries. Do not argue your decisions. Do not explain your worth. Power does not need justification. And once people realize you don't need their approval to stand firm, they stop trying to control you with questions. Number 4, strategic unpredictability. This is where most people fail. They learn to be quiet. They learn to be distant. They learn to be unreadable. And then they lock themselves into one fixed mode. Cold. Detached. Always unavailable. They think that's power. It isn't. That's just another pattern. And patterns, no matter how intimidating, can be learned, anticipated, and exploited. Real power doesn't come from being consistently distant. It comes from being impossible to predict. Unpredictability keeps people off balance. When someone can't anticipate how you'll respond, they stay alert. They pay attention. They move carefully. And careful behavior is respect. Here's how it works. Sometimes you are warm. Present. Engaged. You listen. You give attention. You make people feel seen. They relax. They believe they understand you. Then, without warning, you withdraw. No explanation. No emotional shift they can point to. No argument. The same behavior that earned warmth yesterday receives nothing today. And now their mind spirals. What changed? Did I cross a line? Did I lose something without realizing it? You give them no answers. That confusion is not accidental. It's leverage. You are not being unstable. You are being selective. The mistake people make is thinking unpredictability means randomness. It doesn't. Your internal logic remains consistent. Your standards remain fixed. What changes is access. People never know when they are being evaluated. They never know which moment matters. They never know when tolerance ends. And because of that, they stay cautious. Machiavelli understood this better than most. Consistency is comforting, but comfort breeds carelessness. The moment someone feels comfortable around you, they stop respecting you. Unpredictability prevents that comfort from forming. When people can't map your reactions, they can't manipulate you. When they don't understand your thresholds, they don't test them. They adapt instead. And here's the most important rule: never explain the shifts. The moment you justify why you changed, you destroy the mystery. The moment you explain your reasoning, you hand them the blueprint. Silence preserves power. Sometimes you forgive instantly. Sometimes you disappear completely. Sometimes you engage deeply. Sometimes you offer nothing. And you never say why. To them, it feels arbitrary. To you, it's calculated. They are reacting emotionally. You are observing strategically. Over time, something remarkable happens. People stop assuming access. They stop taking liberties. They stop relaxing around you. Not out of fear, but out of awareness. Every interaction feels like it matters. That's dominance. Number 5, the wolf and the dog. Two creatures. Same origin. Same instincts. Same intelligence. Completely different power. Look at the dog. Loyal. Expressive. Always available. Always reacting. Always eager to please. It shows its emotions openly. It barks, whines, seeks attention, seeks approval. The dog is loved. But the dog is owned. Its safety depends on obedience. Its comfort depends on approval. Its entire existence operates on someone else's terms. The dog is protected, but controlled. Now look at the wolf. Silent. Watchful. Restrained. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't react to every movement. It doesn't seek validation from anything outside itself. The wolf is not loved. But the wolf is respected. No one owns a wolf. No one commands it. No one feels comfortable taking liberties around it. Its presence alone changes the atmosphere. The wolf doesn't need noise. It doesn't need explanation. It doesn't need approval. It simply exists as potential. And potential is what people fear. Ask yourself honestly, which one have you been? The one who explains. The one who reacts. The one who seeks to be understood. That path leads to comfort, but never authority. Or are you ready to become the wolf? To observe instead of react. To control emotion instead of broadcasting it. To accept being misunderstood without trying to fix it. The wolf doesn't defend itself with words. It doesn't justify its behavior. It doesn't convince. It waits. And when it moves decisively. Machiavelli warned that love without fear creates weakness. The dog is loved, but replaceable. The wolf is feared, but never taken lightly. You cannot be both. You cannot be endlessly warm and deeply respected at the same time. The energies conflict. Choosing the wolf means giving up something. You give up being liked by everyone. You give up emotional transparency. You give up the need to be understood. But you gain something far more valuable. Freedom. Authority. Psychological dominance. The wolf keeps a small circle. Access is earned. Loyalty is rare. And because access is limited, it has value. To the outside world, the wolf remains unreadable. Calm. Dangerous in potential. And that's enough. The wolf doesn't chase respect. Respect adjusts to the wolf. Number 6, fear balanced with respect. This is where true power lives. Most people misunderstand it completely. They think power means being feared, so they become harsh, distant, intimidating. Others think power comes from being respected, so they become fair, kind, endlessly understanding. Both are weak positions. Fear without respect creates enemies. Respect without fear creates entitlement. Pure fear breeds resentment. People comply when you're watching and undermine you when you're not. They wait for weakness. They plot. Pure respect breeds exploitation. People admire you, but they cross your boundaries because nothing happens when they do. Machiavelli understood this balance clearly. The strongest position is not choosing between fear and respect, it is combining them. People must value you and fear losing you. That balance creates stability. Here's how it works. First, respect is built through substance, competence, self-control, value. People must feel that your presence matters. That access to you is not guaranteed. That losing you would cost something. But respect alone isn't enough. There must be consequences. Not threats. Not anger. Not lectures. Removal. When someone crosses a line, you don't explain. You don't argue. You don't try to teach them. You withdraw. Calmly. Cleanly. Completely. And because you do it without emotion, the message lands harder. There's no drama to dismiss. No anger to exploit. Just absence. Absence forces reflection. Silence forces interpretation. People replay the moment. They wonder where they went wrong. They fear that the door may be permanently closed. That fear is not cruelty. It's correction. And when people realize you are willing to walk away without hesitation, something changes. They stop testing. They stop pushing. They stop taking you lightly. Not because they are scared of you, but because they are scared of losing access to you. That is healthy fear. And when it's paired with genuine respect for who you are, it becomes untouchable power. But understand this, the balance only works if you mean it. The moment people sense hesitation, everything collapses. Empty boundaries teach people one thing: your words have no weight. Machiavellian power is quiet, consistent, decisive. You don't punish. You don't warn. You remove access. And removal is final enough to be remembered. This entire lesson was never about becoming cold or cruel. It was about ending the era where people felt safe disrespecting you. From now on, you speak less. You reveal less. You react slower. You explain nothing. Your silence carries weight. Your absence teaches lessons. Your presence demands caution. The loud are ignored. The emotional are used. The predictable are controlled. But the unreadable? They are respected. They are feared. They are remembered. Say nothing. Reveal nothing. Command fear. Command respect. And never explain why.